Dear Agni Yogis, today we shall be addressing after the meaning of life and the meaning of suffering, the third cornerstone of a happy life, the usefulness of obstacles. You actually learn to love the terrible unspiritual conditions and the stones which they throw onto your path. Thereby you transform thorns into roses, and your everyday existence is transfigured into a paradise. People should realize that the supermundane path cannot be one of discontent. Thorns turn to roses when the wayfarer learns to love the beautiful horizon. Our topic is of the utmost importance. That is why the Mahatmas are coming back to it again and again. A new attitude to obstacles distinguishes the new from the old man. What kind of obstacles do you have in mind? You know only too well, each and every day, a multitude of difficulties stands in the way of your personal development. Hardship, misery, poverty, weakness, illness, distractions, temptations, the family, the state, the needs of others, and much more. Your plans, ideas, and ideals for improving the conditions in your environment and in the world as a whole encounter strong opposition each and every day. The resistance of matter, the inertia of other people, the inflexibility of the old order, lack of freedom, oppression, and so on. Therefore, it is imperative for you to find the right attitude towards obstacles, this perhaps most important feature of your everyday life. Why are there so many stones on my path? Why does one not let me move forward unhindered? You have to realize obstacles are inevitable and necessary. Without black, there is no white. Without bad, no good. Satisfaction is within reach of those disciples who value the clouds, realizing that without clouds the sun would scorch. No human being has ever been and will ever be able to escape the oppressions which the sojourn on the material level necessarily entails. The life of Job is a classic example of the fact that on the earthly path, everyone, without exception, is exposed to suffering and hardship in abundance. One of the most important statements of Agni Yoga is: it is impossible to avoid the obstacles of the path. Allow this sentence to melt on your tongue. You cannot repeat it often enough. You cannot evade obstacles. With the precision of a law of nature, they inevitably turn up again and again, each and every day. What follows from this? Resignation? No, on the contrary, a new realization. The external conditions are of no importance. He who puts the blame for his problems on the difficulty of conditions has as yet failed to understand the foundations of existence. People are attempting to justify themselves by the complexity of life, but it is more accurate to explain this as aimless dispersion of thinking. You have to take the proper mental attitude. Stop moaning about what is inevitable. Better welcome joyfully anything that is necessary, and that, furthermore, has a deep meaning. Let us now discuss how you can acquire such a more appropriate attitude. The law of correspondence states, nothing that gets in your way is accidental, meaningless, or arbitrary. You encounter exactly that difficulty which is necessary for your further ascent. Therefore, be grateful for the wealth of obstacles on your path. They are there for your own benefit. Do not even try to bypass them or to postpone your coping with them. That would only yield one result. You will meet them again and again later, and that exactly until you have learned what you are supposed to learn from them. Let us accept the greater burden which will bring us sooner to liberation. And while those who did not accept the whole burden will have to return for the part left behind, we shall, with all the joy of our hearts, fulfill the next coming task. First of all, you have to know only by obstacles can we grow. Our physical existence is constricted by resistance. For the soul, on the other hand, an obstacle is an occasion for ascent. We ascend by obstacles. Only in spheres where a shadow veils the vision can the spirit seek the light. Only where the shadow stands behind its back can the spirit display its strength. Only where the shadow conceals the far-off worlds can the spirit reveal its power of discrimination. Therefore, the growth of the spirit is quickened through obstacles. There is a universal law which applies to everybody and everything, in physics as well as in spiritual life, and which we should not bemoan but use. It says, resistance is a condition of progress. Who can foresee precisely what counterblow will put new circumstances into motion? But without a blow, matter will not be brought into motion. Only those who understand the creative substance will realize that what is said is not merely encouragement, but the just assertion of a law. One may turn the law into a misfortune, but it is correct to apprehend the usefulness issuing from the foundations of being. The science of aerodynamics teaches us airplanes or kites can only rise against the wind. What does that mean for my life? Just consider, how can you manage to get up higher if there are no steps in front of you which you may climb? If the mountain is perfectly smooth, one cannot ascend to the summit. Blessed are the stones that tear the sandals of those who ascend. One should grow to love all the obstacles, for the stones on the path are but the steps of ascent. Long ago was it said that one does not ascend by a smooth stone. We even go one step further. As in physics the rule applies, the stronger the resistance, the greater the potential for luminosity. Luminosity corresponds to a certain degree of tension. The inner fires are basically analogous to electric light. The greater the tension, the more intense the light. Take the example of a pump. The stronger the downward pressure, the higher the jet of water goes up on the other side. This example shows the deeper you are being pressed downwards, the more you are forced to strive upwards. Thereby you use, develop and strengthen your spiritual power. Without this pressure, it would remain idle and go limp. The process by which energy is strengthened is similar to the workings of a pump. Thus, the upward impetus of energy is sure to be conditioned by the downward pressure. People usually regard this pressure as misfortune or failure, whereas it is the physical threshold of ascent. It is sad to see how uninformed people, not understanding the law of the pump, fall into oppression. It would be so easy for these masses to lose sight of the fact that oppression is the gate to ascent. The proper attitude towards the inevitable obstacles is therefore understand resistance as an incentive to double your efforts and thus ascend all the safer, the faster and the higher. You should look forward to each act of oppression as a source of tension preceding a leap. Only a spirit impelled to creativeness can be conscious of that power which is contained in counteraction. It is necessary to accept the law of counteraction as a stimulus of creativeness. the stimulus which strengthens each construction.